Yo, 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 we are back with another episode of Leaf with the Legends podcast. Man, I took a break, but I'm back. And this one, oh yeah, it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait, man. I got a Stevens Point legend. I got a I got a University of Virginia legend, small forward for the world champion Boston Celtics. I got my boy, man, Sam Hauser, man. Thanks for pulling up to the podcast.
Appreciate you having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh man, me too. I'm excited to have you, man. We go way back, man. I guess I could tell the story. You were a youngin. I was playing at UW Stevens Point, and you and Trevor and your younger brother Joey would come to the camps. And I'm like, man, who are these three kids? Like ain't no way they in fourth, fifth, sixth grade. Like no, like they are too cold. But just over the years we stayed solid, throughout AAU, watching you develop, high school and college, and now you're solidifying yourself, as a bona fide NBA player. So man, but I'm excited to kind of dive deeper into your journey. So I guess with that, first off, man, how you feeling? How you doing? How's life?
I'm doing good. Life's good. Summer's been great. A little too fast, but ready to get the season back rolling here in a couple weeks.
I hear you. I hear you, man. Well, I usually start like in the beginning, like childhood. But since you've had such a very eventful, summer, let's dive right into it, man. So like what was it what was it like winning an NBA championship?
It's I mean, it's hard to describe. Like you dream of it. That's like the peak at the mountaintop of this sport, and to reach that and to know that you were the last one standing, it's pretty special. It's pretty cool. It's hard to take in the moment because it's so surreal. But after like a week or so passed, it kind of set in that we were world champs and we accomplished what we set out at the start of the season. So it's pretty special to be a part of. Just such an amazing team, and with a lot of guys who are superstars but have no egos, and just to be a part of it was really cool.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. So how long did that celebration last?
Oh man, it was a good like couple weeks. I would say like a good month of taking it all in and enjoying it, and yeah, making the most of it.
As you should, man. So we're gonna get back into that a little bit deeper, a little later. But let's take it back to the childhood days, man. So like, I know you were a three sport athlete in high school, but like, was basketball always your favorite?
So honestly, like growing up, my favorite sport was like whatever season of the year it was. So
Mm,
during football season, football was my favorite. Basketball, baseball, golf, whatever it was, whatever time of the year it was, like whatever season was in, that was usually what my brother and I enjoyed the most. But as I got older, I don't know, I just grew a love for basketball, and it's taken me to places I never thought I could get to.
man, absolutely, absolutely. So once you started like really honing in on like basketball, who were some of the players that you were looking up to?
Yeah, I mean, I always liked watching Michael Redd, an
Mm,
OG Buck. Uh,
nice.
Dwayne Wade was always fun to watch, and then Klay Thompson, when he came on with the Warriors, was just so fun to watch with that squad. And then honestly, like before, I mean, during college, like Chris Middleton, I always liked watching his game
Mm,
too. So kind of like a variety there, but some guys that I just loved watching.
man, all had clips too, just like you. Yep, but I Clay got a pretty form, but yours is right there too, man. One of the sweetest shots in the league, man. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about it though. Like, what was it like growing up in Stevens Point?
I mean, it was real, just like humble beginnings. It's like it's not a big city, but it's not a small city. It's kind of in the middle. Um, there's just enough there to do to keep you occupied, and it's such a great community of people, such good people. I mean, you experienced it for 4 years.
Yep.
I don't know if you have the same opinion on it or not, but I had a good experience, growing up through school and sports, and um, obviously, coming through, like my family members being the way they are. It's just like, they always had like a blue collar work ethic, just being respectful of others, being humble, and things will work out for you. And high school days are great too. So like, I have nothing but good things to say about Stevens Point.
Man, and my feelings are exactly the same. I know you said 4 years. I played for 4 years, but I was up there for 5. I took a
Yeah,
victory
right,
lap.
right.
I took a victory. I took a victory lap. But yeah, no. I mean, just great people. And with with the college being there, like they basically treated us, like we were the Bucks. So like just being out in the community, people coming up to us, just giving us well wishes, thanks, kind words. So just it's like me and my teammates, we always talk like there's no place like Point. Like it's hard to describe. Like that's why I wanted to ask you, just kind of get your viewpoint on it. But like it's definitely a special place for sure.
Sure, yeah, and I think they do like a good job of rallying around the UW Stevens Point teams and our high school team. They rallied around, and they only want to see you succeed, and that's the beauty of it. And I'm really appreciative, to have been a part of that community.
Yeah, for sure. So you go to Spash, and your accolades speak for themselves. Really, you were state champ junior and senior year while averaging 18, 7, 4, and 3 as a senior. By being you were named Gatorade Player of the Year, and then you won Mr. Basketball with one of your best friends and your teammate Trevor Anderson. So like just talk about those years and like just dominating, Wisconsin basketball, with your younger brother too and one of your best friends.
Yeah, for sure. And I think our stats even get a little flawed because we didn't even play in the second half of some of the games.
So I had Trevor on there too. Trevor said the same thing.
Yeah. And Trevor still averaged over 20, which is insane. Yeah, those are like the glory days. I mean, our group of seniors, I think we had 8 or 9 guys. We'd been playing together since 4th, 5th, 6th grade, all of us, and Joey would play up with us. So really, like our core team for those 2 years had played together. I don't even know how many years that is, like 8 years together.
Yep.
We built the chemistry from a young age, and Coach Anderson and my dad were our coaches from that age on. So, and then I just felt like so natural to play with each other, even on like a high school stage where everybody's kind of experiencing things for the first time with, crowd watching expectations, different, style coaching. It was fun, man. Like those are some of my favorite memories to this day, even winning an NBA title, like winning state titles, right up near the top towards that. So the accolades, that speaks for itself. But I wouldn't get those without having a good team around me, and being able to play with Joey and Trev was awesome. And those are 2 really, really good basketball players as well. So
absolutely, yeah.
We had a really good team. It was fun.
Shout out to them. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So I gotta ask this, right? So when I was in high school, I went back to back to junior and senior year. Which state championship means more to you?
Honestly, I think it's tough, but I think the first one meant more. So we beat Germantown in the state title, and they were trying to win their 4th in a row, I think it was.
Yep.
So like, and we were, like the newcomers, like nobody necessarily knew who we were yet. And, I think with all the hype surrounding the game, like Germantown, they're going to do 4 in a row. And then we beat them to end their streak of their dynasty. And I think that all just added to the suspense to the game and experiencing it for the first time too. Like there's nothing like playing in the Kohl Center at the state tournament for the first time. So I feel like, and we also didn't really know like how good. I mean, we knew we were good, but we didn't know how good, and we didn't really expect to win anything. And we won, and that's what made it so special. And our senior year, we kind of knew like, we're gonna win. It's just there. But at first year, man, it was pretty special.
No, I agree. I agree. No, that's dope. That's dope. So, with you having such a like well storied, high school career, like who were your top 5 colleges, and then how did you end up narrowing it down to, ultimately choose Marquette?
Yeah, let me think here. top five was Marquette, Virginia, Creighton, um, Northern Iowa, and it was probably mainly those four. Northern
Okay.
Iowa, first offer I got, and I love their coaching staff. So I just, yeah, I mean, it honestly, like pushing them out of it kind of just became like, I think I, you know, could have a better opportunity to do more at a bigger school.
Hmm.
Uh, but when it came down to Marquette, honestly, at the time, like playing closer to home was a big factor for me.
Hmm.
And being, Marquette being in Milwaukee, it's, just over 2 hours away. And having family at every single game was really special. And I'm really happy I went there and experienced 3 years of that because that was pretty cool. And had a lot of individual success there. And we had some good teams. Didn't really have any postseason success, but definitely a lot of good memories for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you say you spent 3 years there, had great average 14-7, second team Big East, all that good stuff. So then you decide to transfer to Virginia. So what went into that decision?
Yeah, I mean, um, I don't know. I mean, just like some stuff behind the scenes that I don't know. I
Gotcha.
guess didn't really match up with how like I go about things and how like I thought. I guess I was blessed to have such a good high school experience that
Hmm.
um, the college experience in Marquette felt so much different that I just felt like I wasn't in the right place, honestly.
Gotcha.
Um, so I hit the transfer portal with my brother, and initially we were going into it thinking like, yeah, we're for sure like let's go to the same school, and then it just turned out that I liked Virginia more and he liked Michigan State more. So
Yeah.
that's how we ended up split, and there was nothing more to that. But I just love Coach Bennett and his staff and kind of the vision they had for me, and obviously they were coming off winning a national title, so you could see where that program can take you or what it can do, and they produced NBA prospects and guys who have stuck in the league, and that was obviously a goal of mine. And I think I made the right choice. And him being a Stevens Point guy, that it
Yep.
made an even better decision for me to go to a coach that has a lot of familiar upbringings as I did.
No, for sure. Yeah, and it worked out. After redshirted, you get into the ACC. Like, what were some of those like matchups that you look forward to? Where you like, all right, like,
I mean, yeah, like Duke and Carolina, like
for
right
sure.
when I committed, I was just kind of like salivating over that. Like I have to sit out this year, but I can't wait to play against those teams, against those coaches, and like Syracuse even too with their coach and just the history that a lot of those coaches are gone now and done, but
Yep.
just the history that some of those guys have, and just to be able to say I played against them was pretty cool. So I had a good experience. It was during the COVID year though, so I didn't really get to experience like the Cameron crowd or anything like that, but it still was pretty cool.
No, for sure, for sure. So what are your thoughts? I mean, you went to two, high major Division 1 programs. You excelled at both of them. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on NIL?
I think it's good that
Hmm.
players can benefit off of success and themselves, and is it getting a little bit out of control probably, but it's hard to really regulate that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool thing for the kids, like I think it would have been cool. Like I can't imagine having the amounts of money that some of these guys have in college. I thought like our stipend check start every month was like an absurd amount of money. So uh, and that was only like $500. So that's getting $1 million in college to play basketball. But
Wild.
yeah, I do think it's keeping kids in college longer, which I think is probably good for college basketball. But the transfer portal has kind of gotten out of control, which I think
Yeah.
maybe I think they should look into that a little bit.
No, for sure, for sure. So you had a hell of a year, at Virginia. Um, so like as the season's coming to an end, like what are your thoughts? Like, is it league for sure? Is it overseas? Is it G League? Like what's going through your head?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I put my best foot forward. I had a great season. I mean, I was like 50, 40, 90.
Yeah.
Had like shot the ball well throughout my 4 years of playing in college. So um, I was open to the fact of doing whatever, whether it was someone signing me or going overseas, playing in the G League. I was really open to it either way. I thought I had done enough to at least get on a two-way contract. So I was lucky enough to get a two-way from the Celtics right after the draft, and just tried to run with it and just make the most of it because I didn't really know how long that was going to last either. So
Right.
tried to make the most of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about like your path, like to becoming an official like Boston Celtic.
For sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so I didn't get drafted.
Mhm.
They called me. I don't know, like right as the last pick was wrapping up, and my agent called me and was like, "Celtics are offering you two-way. Timberwolves are offering you two-way, and then the Heat were offering me like a summer league spot
Mhm.
with trying to earn a two-way essentially." So I was like, "Well, can I just sleep on it?" And he goes, "Nah, you got like 10 minutes." So talked to my family. It was me, my sister, my brother, my parents, and my wife, or my now wife, in the room talking about the options, and came to the conclusion that we thought Boston was the best option for me, and decided on that. Got a phone call from Brad Stevens 10 minutes after we told him yes, and then off we were to the races. Played summer league, and yeah, and then into training camp. So it's crazy.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. That's a good story. I love that. So can you share any rookie pranks that happened to you?
Yeah, I could share one. I won't name names, but I got
Okay.
preseason. This was like the last preseason game before the regular season started, so a lot of the guys weren't playing. So I
Mm.
was like, all right, like I need to get a good night of sleep. I'm gonna play probably a decent amount tomorrow. Um, but at like 3 a.m., I hear a banging on my door, and I get up, answer it, and one of the players was like, "Hey, you got to go to a gas station, pick up some snacks and drinks for us while we play cards. Just let me know when you're there. Call us when you're there, and we'll let you know what to get." I'm like, "What? Like, what are we talking?" So I did it because whatever. It only lasts for a year, rookie hazing or whatever
Yeah.
they call it. So I went, got back. It's like 4:15, 4:30 at this point now. Hand them their snacks, go to sleep, wake up the next day when I'm like supposed to play like 20 minutes. I'm dead tired, but I actually played well that night. So, um, but they looked out for me, so that was cool. So,
That's what's up.
yeah, but it's some of the stuff that happens is crazy.
I've heard and I can imagine.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
so what was that like? I guess on the court, what was that like? Welcome to the NBA moment where you're like, oh shit, like I'm here, like this is real.
Yeah. Ooh. Um, Man, that's good. That's good. I think honestly, the opening night we played my rookie year. I didn't play, but just being on the bench opening night in Madison Square Garden,
Mm.
Celebrity Row. It was a great game. Went into overtime. We won. Like just that first experience was crazy. The first time I actually like checked into a game and played like actual minutes though was I think we were at home against the Clippers, and I check it in, and I'm just like this 6'6" white dude who's a rookie just checking in. Nobody knows who I am. And one of the Morris twins came up to me. He's like, "Damn, I can't wait for you to guard me. That's a bucket." So that was quite an entrance. That's like literally like 3 steps after checking in.
Oh,
That was a good welcome to the NBA moment, right?
yeah, I would I would agree. I would agree. Yeah. So this past season, you had a career high of 30 points, all off of threes. So like try. I know you can't fully put it into words, but like try to describe what being in that type of zone is like.
Yeah, well, the rim looks like it's the ocean.
Yeah.
Um, every shot you put up feels good. every shot you put up, you feel like it's going in, and I think I got hurt. Like I twisted my ankle up like 3 or 4 minutes into the third quarter of that game. So like I had hit 10 to that point, and the way it was going, like honestly, I think I could have gotten like 13 or 14.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like when you see your first couple go through and they feel good, you're like, man, like you almost just get so like more aggressive, and somehow the ball finds you more, and teammates know that you're hot, and they're kind of looking for you more, and you're just trying to make the most of it. And that was just one of those nights, man, where it just everything was falling.
Yeah, no, it was, and I think like what you said about like the teammate part, like that's like that good energy is contagious, right? Because like you're hidden. Like when I was watching the highlights of that, like yeah, a couple of them were catch and shoot, but like for the most part, you were coming off screens. Like they were headhunting, they were going to get you. So
Right.
that makes it even doper, you know, where they're like, no, like Sam's cooking, let's let him cook.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a cool feeling when you got like Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown like head hunting you, like trying to find you. So that's a
yeah,
cool feeling.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. That's dope. That's dope. So you've been a winner at every level. So like, what are some of the similarities and traits that you've seen on, you know, all the championship level teams that you've been on?
Yeah. Um, so I'm lucky enough to kind of like splash days, you're a focal point. The ball is, probably touching the ball every possession, and being in the NBA is like you truly have to find your role and like really buy into your role. And I was a role player this past year, and I just tried to do what I was asked of, and that's knock down open shots, space the floor, and defend.
Yeah,
And I focused on like 3, 4 things, and I think having a simple mindset like that is crucial for a guy who is not the focal point, because that's the majority of basketball players is that. So you can just star in your role and do your part, and collectively as a team, if everybody can do that and buy into the role, like you look at Drew Holiday, he bought into a role, like just defend, make hustle plays, winning plays, make like clutch defensive stops, clutch shots. Like he was definitely not a focal point of our offense, but he somehow found his niche and his role within our offense. So
yeah,
like when a guy like that is sacrificing, and a guy like Al Horford sacrificing at age 39, where he probably has the ability to say like, nah, I want to do this, but he doesn't. So when you have that at the top, it's just a trickle down effect to the guys that are below that. So you have to have a special group to do that, but you have to be willing to do it as well. So
yeah.
it's like a give and take.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. So you've had a hell of a last year, right? Maybe a year and some change, right? So you got married, wife got pregnant, you had the career high that we just talked about, contract extension, and a world championship. Like life is good. Life is good for Sam Hauser, man. But what's next? What's next on that goal list? Like what do you got your sights set on?
Well, outside of what we talked about earlier, like about to have a kid any day now, so that's
Yeah,
that's probably gonna be the biggest blessing of all. But
for sure.
honestly, like I'm just excited to see where this year, takes me. And we have the same team coming back, so a lot of high expectations and target on our back, which is cool. So I'm just excited to see, just being a part of this group for a second straight year, like how we can make it work again, and how we can try to defend our championship, which is pretty cool.
Got you. Got you. No, for sure. Now, do you see your role like being the same as last year, or are you trying to like add anything else, or like where do you see you fitting in into the scheme?
Yeah, so that's like the weird and unique thing about bringing everybody back from a championship team from our rotation is where my role when we're fully healthy, it might not change very much,
Hmm.
which is fine. Like you just have to do your best in what you're asked of, and I'm cool. I'm willing to do that. Obviously, I'm working on other things to expand my game individually, but I know when we have a full squad, it's going to be a pretty similar role, and that's okay. But when guys are out or resting, that's a time where you can try to expand what you do in the game, and that's where you can lean on your work behind the scenes. Is where well, when I'm given the opportunity to do this, I have to be ready to do it. And for me, that's probably just like being able to show people that I'm more than just a shooter
Hmm.
on the offensive end, and then defensively just continue to grow and get better in isolations and stuff like that. So, but
No,
I
for
think
sure.
3 years I've made a big jump on both sides of the ball.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree. And I mean, shit, to shoot 42% from the, from three, like in the league, like that's impressive. That's highly impressive. So what type of work goes in? Like I know obviously, in season, you working, but like what type of work like during the summers like goes like what do those workouts look like?
Yeah, I mean, more intense for sure because
Hmm.
we have such a long season. It's hard to really go hard every day with the
Hmm.
amount of games we're playing. But off season, try to go a little bit harder, work on some different things that maybe you're uncomfortable with to get out of that comfort zone, and that's how you grow and expand your game. And it's a lot of like game like shots where there's not many times in my workouts where I'm just shooting spot shots. It might
Hmm.
be quick, like 2 in a row reps at 5 spots, but other than that, it's a lot of game shots, and flying off a screen or slipping out of a screen, or like I'm guarding an isolation into sprinting out to a three and making a shot, stuff like that. So it's definitely harder than the season, which is good. That's what off season should be like. But making a game like is crucial.
I love it. I love it. So, we talked about the contract extension a little bit, earlier. So what was that thing that you splurged on where you was like, okay, like after you sign, you like, all right, like mom straight, pop straight, wifey, she good, like little bro, he good. Like what can I splurge a little bit on Sam?
I haven't just myself. I haven't splurged yet.
Okay.
Um, there might be some golf clubs in the future,
Okay. Okay.
but I get we did buy some property in Wisconsin, so I get and we're gonna
Nice.
do a house. So I guess that could be my splurge to this point. But
There we go.
yeah, we'll see. I got to finish up this contract first. Once the new check hits, then I can
I got
really.
it. That's true. That's true. But you're right. You're right. You're right. All right. So, one last question, or I guess maybe a couple more, but I got one more question. So, like, what's it like seeing three of your teammates win gold in Paris?
It's pretty special. It should have been 4 of my teammates, but
Yeah.
um, it's pretty special. Like it's just like it's a blessing to have them as your teammate like every single night, and they all show why they're so valuable to the Celtics and our success, and what they were doing at the Olympics was special, and it didn't go like the way it probably should have went for Jason, but he still was a good teammate. Like he's hyping people up on the bench. He's cheering for his teammates, being a good teammate. He wasn't moping around, which was cool.
Yeah.
And like Drew and Derek were doing just making winning plays the whole time. Like it's like we get to see that every single night, which is so special. And they accomplished something really cool. Getting a gold at the Olympics. So it's a great accomplishment for them, and I couldn't be happier.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So I do have one follow up question to that. So, like, how will you think it played out with Jason? Like, how do you think that will affect the chemistry moving forward?
Honestly, like he's gonna be motivated. Jalen is
Yeah.
gonna be motivated. Like we have 2 superstars that are coming off an NBA championship, and they might be the most motivated superstars in the league because of what happened over the summer.
It's
I
gonna
don't
get
think it's
scary.
gonna, yeah, I don't think it's gonna affect anything chemistry wise on our team because everybody kind of knows the pecking order per se, or how
Yep.
it's gonna work, and how like the proof's in the pudding. Like we had success last year with what we were doing, so why not try to do that again? And I don't think it's gonna just the way Drew and Derek are, and even Jason. Like there's really no egos. They do what they're told, and they're willing to do whatever is asked of. So I think we'll be fine.
That's dope. That's dope. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, Sam, we got five this or that questions.
All right.
All right. You ready?
Oh,
Coffee or tea?
coffee.
Morning person or night owl?
I'd say I'm more of a morning person, and I'm gonna have to be more of
I
a
was,
morning
I was, I
person.
was just, I was just gonna say that's a good thing. All right. Uh, phone call or FaceTime?
Probably FaceTime.
Okay. Okay. And I know you're a Nike athlete. So let's go. Dunks or Air Force One?
Ooh, probably dunks. Probably
Oh,
dunks.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I
All
mean,
right.
I got some of each, but I probably prefer the dunks. Yeah.
I got you. All right. And then, would you rather be super hot or super cold? So basically, winter or summer.
Oh, summer. Gotta be summer.
So yeah, yeah. You golf too much.
Yeah, gotta be the
You
summer.
gotta get out there. Gotta get out there. Well, man, hey Sam, man, I appreciate you pulling up to the podcast, man. Like I said, you're a legend of mine. It's been a legend, from the Stevens Point days. To following, just continuing to follow your journey, throughout college, and then to see you, be on the team, contribute, and become a world champion, with the Celtics, man. That's special, bro. So like, I just want to, just give you your flowers, while you can still smell them, and like just tell you like, keep going, bro.
For sure. I appreciate you having me. This has been good.
Man, you already know. You already know. It's been another episode of Leaf with the Legends, and as always, be legendary or be lost. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.